I was 24 when I got my first full-time job. It wasn't big or glamorous, but it felt like a new beginning, a step into adulthood. The place was called Bridge Edge Prints, a small printing shop. The owners, Claire and Max, were siblings, both in their 30s, always calm, always smiling. Claire handled the customers and payments, while Max managed the machines and deliveries. The shop had 3 rooms: the front desk where I worked, the printing room filled with the smell of ink and hot paper, and the small storage room at the back where the old printers and supplies were kept. It wasn't much, but I liked it. The steady hum of printers, the soft rustle of paper stacks, and the little bell that rang every time a customer walked in. It felt safe. Then there was Daniel. He worked in the back room. Tall, maybe mid-30s. He didn't talk much, but everyone respected him. Claire once said, "Danielle's been here since our dad ran this place. He's like family." So I trusted him. At first, Danielle was quiet but helpful. If I dropped something heavy, he'd appear silently to pick it up. If the printer jammed, he'd fix it in seconds. Sometimes he'd bring donuts for everyone and just leave them on the counter without saying a word. He was strange, but in a harmless way, or so I thought. After a few weeks, I began noticing little things. The back storage light would sometimes be on when I arrived, even though Danielle's shift started later than mine. A few times, I caught him standing in the hallway, just watching quietly before turning away. Once, I laughed it off. "Do you ever sleep, Danielle?" I asked. He smiled slightly. "Not much." That smile stayed in my mind longer than it should have. One afternoon, while organizing old receipts in the storage room, I saw a small metal box behind the shelf. It looked old, covered in dust. Curiosity got the better of me, and I opened it. Inside were some photos, grainy, printed on thick paper. A woman's face again and again, in different angles. It took me a second to realize the woman was me. My breath caught. I froze, staring at the photos. They were all recent. Me at the counter, me leaving work, me locking the door. Before I could think, I heard footsteps. Danielle's voice came from behind. "Looking for something?" I turned, hiding the box behind me. "Oh, I was just cleaning up." He stood there for a long second, his eyes sharp, unreadable. Then he said softly, "You shouldn't touch things that aren't yours." I nodded quickly, heart pounding. He walked away without another word. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every sound outside my apartment made me jump. The next day, I wanted to tell Claire or Max, but what would I even say? That I found photos of myself and maybe I was overreacting? I decided to wait, just to be sure. Then came that night. It was Friday. Claire and Max had gone home early for the weekend, leaving me to finish a few last orders. I didn't mind. The shop was quiet, the radio played softly, and I liked having the space to myself. The clock ticked past 9 p.m. I shut down the computer, packed my bag, and went to turn off the lights in the back. That's when I heard it. A soft click, like the back door locking. I froze. "Hello?" I called out. No answer. I stepped closer, and that's when I saw him. Daniel? He was standing in the narrow hallway, his face half hidden in the dark, smiling faintly. "Forgot something?" I asked, my voice shaking. He didn't reply. He just kept staring, one hand still resting on the doorknob behind him. "Danielle, I am leaving. You scared me," I said, trying to sound calm. Then he stepped closer. "I waited for you," he said softly. My throat went dry. "What do you mean?" He tilted his head. "You looked in my box." I didn't mean to. I was cleaning." "Liar." His voice was quiet but sharp. He reached into his pocket, and I panicked, my hands trembling. "Danielle, please open the door," I said. "You're scaring me." He didn't move. He just smiled, that same, still, calm smile. "I said, open the door," I screamed, my voice echoing in the small room, "or I'll tell everyone about you." But he didn't move. He just stood there, smiling, as if he knew something I didn't. My knees went weak. I grabbed the nearest thing, a stapler, and threw it. It hit the wall beside him, and he flinched. That second was enough. I ran. I pushed past him, slammed the front door open, and ran out onto the street. My hands were shaking so hard I dropped my phone twice before dialing 911. By the time the police arrived, he was gone. The back door had been forced open from the inside. They searched his locker the next morning. Inside, they found the same metal box and more photos, not just of me, other women, different shops, dates written on the back. When they ran his record, they found out the truth. His real name wasn't Danielle. He changed it years ago after being released from prison for stalking and breaking into a woman's house. I quit that week. I couldn't stay there. Every time I heard a door click or footsteps behind me, my body froze. It's been 2 years since that night. People think fear comes in screams and chaos, but real fear, the kind that stays with you, is silent. It stands there, smiling through the glass, waiting for you to turn around.